Greetings, welcome back to Acadian Comics. I'm your host, James Fondren, and this is a new episode of Wizard Wayback. I believe this is episode 8, and we have Wizard magazine, issue 46, from June 1995. And look at the back. I have some fond memories of playing True Lies for the Super Nintendo. So 1995, good year. This is also the summer and time when Batman Forever came out. So again, R.I.P. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. He passed away last week on April 1st, 2025. Today is, what is today? April 7th. So that was last week. But anyway, when I'm shooting this video, let's get right into it. Really cool cover here. Batman and Robin. This is Wizard. Oh, sorry. This is Wizard 46. I said 45, didn't I? This is issue 46, but it was June 95. But let's get into it. So yeah, I mean, Chuck Dixon, Chris Warner, Scott Williams, Wildstorm Rising, Team 7, Objective Hell from Wildstorm. Sovereign 7, check that out. Pretty cool. Is this Jim Lee? Looks like Jim Lee. I don't know if it is or not. Here's the top. Strangers in a Strange Land. Chris Claremont, Dwayne Turner. Okay. I like that art, man. It's that 90s art. I hope to get more of these earlier issues of Wizard, because I think that's it's kind of Wizard's heydays earlier on. And again, the late great Val Kilmer as Batman. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. But let's look at what we have in the contents. This is volume 1, number 40, issue 46 of Wizard. In the Shadow of the Bat, that's 36. They talk a little bit about Batman in film, and then obviously they're going to talk about Batman Forever because it came out June 16th, 1995. So this was the issue. That was going to cover that. Yep, Casting Call, Wizard's Image, Hottest Teens, Bugging Out, You Are What You Eat, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Lady Death, Spot the X-Men, Mr. Hero, The Dark, Birthquake Part 2, and then you have all your various departments, so get right into it. Yeah, I have this book. I have this Batman Two-Face. As a matter of fact, hold on. I think I have it right here. Where is it? You know what? I don't have that. I used to have it. And I traded it. I had a friend in boarding school who wanted this comic, and it was a one shot, but this was like a trade though. I think I traded it for like Judge Dredd vs. Predator or something like that. Bringing me back. Astro City. Beyond Oasis. That's a Sega Genesis game. Didn't play it. Look at Vanilla Ice Word to Your Mother. Dear Wizard, did you hear the joke about Vampirella? I'll forget it. It bites anyway. Get it? Ha ha ha. It bites? Oh, that's bad. Don't ever use my name in vain again. Ha ha ha. Oh, God. Check this out. Here's the envelope letter art, which was always great. And these are all good, really. But this she-piece one. Benjamin Rogers in Beaumont, Texas won the envelope of the month. But really, really nice art there and submissions. Trying to cut the glare down a little bit. I'm all right, I'll have to hold it up like this, and we'll have to reduce that glare. Yeah. Oh, I remember these cards. I remember these Marvel Metal cards in the 90s. I had a couple of these, and I think I traded them for something else. I mean, I had several of the Cyclops and the Jean Grey Marvel Metal cards. Yeah, I'm sure through the magic of eBay, I could collect them again if I wanted to, but I'm really not that into it, you know. But yeah, Marvel and Heroes World Shakedown. Yep. Fall of an Amazon. John Byrne's Wonder Woman, really nice. Look at the statue for Lady Death. Activists get deactivated. Okay. It's talking about one shot. Yeah. Regulators. Check that out. This is Vampirella. I think I had, this is strange. I think I had this issue of Wizard Magazine, and what was missing was the cover. I didn't have the cover of it. I'm starting to think that. I don't know. I had a bunch of Wizards, and then, a few years ago, I threw them in the dumpster, and I regret that, but they weren't in great condition. But what's interesting is at the last con that I went to, they were selling these for 50 cents a piece. And I picked up I don't know, 20, almost 20, no, maybe 10, 15 issues of Wizard. So I'm steadily filling my Wizard collection. I'd love to collect all of them. And they don't all have to be grade A stuff. I mean, as long as I can read it and do these videos, that's all I care about, In the Shadow of the Bat, the men behind the Dark Knight discuss their Batman, how Bruce Wayne is no Clark Kent, and why Alfred is more important than Robin. He's perhaps the only genuine hero amongst them all, Alan Grant says. Inside Batman Forever. Let's look at this. Holy Batfit. Chris O'Donnell was examining the costumes one day on the set of Batman Forever. Wham, he came upon one piece of wardrobe that was even more frightening than the Joker teaming up with the Penguin. The new Robin had a pair of green tights in his hands and shook his head. Well, we know the story, he has this cool suit, but then we know the story about, how, he had his, circus uniform, right? And that was his first uniform, but from then on there became a rule. My Robin would not wear tights. I look horrible in them anyway, says O'Donnell. And Jim Carrey was the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. So while Kilmer was getting fitted for his new bat suit, Tommy Lee Jones was preparing for Two-Face. I really couldn't wait to do a Batman film, Jones says. My son bought the comic books and showed me this Two-Face character. My son was Batman for Halloween. If I didn't do the part, my boy would have been pretty mad. Well, that's great. I think Val Kilmer had the same motivation too. He had children. He wanted to do a role that they could see him in as a superhero, Jim Carrey is overjoyed with his role. I am the Riddler, he says. This is my childhood dream come true. I'm going to whip Batman's butt. But you'll need a pet detective to find the bat. Right. Ace Ventura, pet detective, yeah. Let's see, they have any quotes from Val Kilmer. No, there are no. Joel Schumacher, though, he was quoted, says, the director adds that those who doubt Kilmer's ability should remember this. I recall when it was announced that Michael Keaton was playing Batman before the first film, and everyone said, Michael Keaton, no way that will work out. That's true. Yeah. And I remember these Batman Metal Forever cards, too. I remember those. The X-Files, Phone cards. Oh, you remember phone cards? I remember phone cards. Yeah, phone cards. All right. Magic the Gathering. The Chaos Theory. Chaos Comics publisher Brian Pulido throws some cold water on self-publishing wannabes who can't wait to tap into the big bucks. Let's talk about it. So they've got all their kind of like steps for success, right? So education, finding talent, setting a budget, selecting a printer, distributors, Diamond Comics. You see, like the whole thing with Diamond going bankrupt and this year, and I mean, Diamond's been in the game for a while, and you know, look what's happening with them. It's just, oh, here we go. You got some people here. Let's read about Billy Tucci. Let's see what he says with Crusade Comics. Be prepared for a lot of work. I'm going to try to cut down this glare. I apologize for that. I'm going to hold it up like this. Be prepared for a lot of work and be prepared for Murphy's Law. Don't rely on what other self-publishers tell you. Do as much research and work on your own as you can because everyone's experience is different. You've also got to be honest about your own ability. If you're not the best at writing or drawing, get someone else to do that part. So true. Murphy's Law, anything that can happen will happen, right? Figure on overprinting. Once distributor orders are in and you're ready to print your issue, Polito suggests overprinting by at least 10%. If you print your orders, you're avoiding any risk, but you're also not investing in yourself. It doesn't give you any way to grow your readership. Yeah. Second printings, enhancements, ship on time, licensing, mistakes. Believe in your product, heart and soul, and don't bother publishing it. Clip this article and keep it in your wallet since there may not be anything else in there for a while. Lots of optimism, huh? But now we do crowdfunding, you know, on Indiegogo and other platforms. Fund My Comic. EXO heats up. Ron Mars, Bart Sears, Andy Smith, Ray Chrising, Valiant, Birthquake, Aftershocks. Casting Call, the Gen 13 movie. The Uber Babe of Gen 13, Fairchild, will be played by Lauren Hawley. Burnout. I think I had this. I had this growing up, or I think I traded it for something at boarding school, and I had this copy. But the cover, I didn't have the cover. It was ripped off, so I only saw the first few parts of this. It's bringing back a lot of like familiar feelings. I remember seeing this. I remember seeing this casting call for Gen 13. So, trading cards. Oh yeah, I had these. I had these Empire Strikes Back trading cards. They were great. I don't know what happened to them, but they were really cool. Here we go, Lady Death. Yep. Nice. Nice. Bugging Out. The last son of Krypton faces down the meanest, ugliest critters on this side of Doomsday when it's Superman versus aliens. Well, what are they going to do? He can't die. They can't hurt him. Oh, they can tear his shirt. All right. Whatever. Wildstorm Rising. Covered by Barry Windsor Smith. The Drawing Board. Married with Children. Yeah, I remember seeing some of these pieces, you know. Cyblade. Greg Capullo's Crash Course. Face Facts. This is cool. Look at this. Yeah, that's great. All these methodologies of how to draw the face and the ear. Look at the simplified pattern. Look how they're doing the sort of the contour lines of the ear to give it that three-dimensionality, 3D aspect. Yeah. Stretch your skull. Just look at pulling out. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see. Draw a profile of a face, as I have done. Imagine the front of the face has drawers on it. And the front of these drawers are features. Now, notice how radically different the faces look just by pulling out the drawers. Here's where the real fun begins. Up until now, we've been detailing with ideal head and standard measures. Having that done, now we're ready to draw from our imagination. Yeah, so you change the attributes, you know. Everything's normal. The nose is a little bit bigger. Pulling the lower lip out. Pulling out the forehead. Yeah, that's good to learn that tinkering, that stylization. I like how he does these his eyes and everything. I need to work on that. I'm actually practicing some shadow mapping right now on heads. So this is really good. I might pull this again and do it like that. I mean, the construction is what the construction is. He does it in a box, which is fine. You know, it gives you some guidelines. It gives you some sort of guardrails, you know, and the eyes. Look how he does the eyes. Curve, straight curve. Yeah. Curve, straight curve. Yeah. That's good stuff. I love seeing that in Wizard Magazine. The old drawing tips. You get a lot of, you know, it's like they're giving back. They're giving back to people who want to learn how to do this. You know, it's nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had this issue. Pretty sure I did. With no real way to like get any of these comics, like no real way. Neil Adams. It's a little piece on Neil Adams. Three-part miniseries, Samurai, Mistress of Martial Arts. Neil Adams is part of that too. Acclaim Comics, Windjammer. I have issues 1 and 2. I don't have issue 3. I guess I could complete the set if I went on eBay, but no real rush to do any of that. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Avengers Ultra Force crossover. I skipped some pages. Whoa, I skipped a ton of pages. Okay. And then anime. There was even a section in 95 for anime. You know. Some Batman toys. The Tick. Remember the Tick? Weapon Zero. Ballistic Studios. Top Cow. Oh, and some games, man. Spawn the video game. Killer X-Men. I remember Killer X-Men. And Spider-Man animated series. Yeah, that game was alright. But Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety were better games. Yep. Glory. Extreme Studios. That was under Rob Liefeld's. That's his Extreme Studios, right? Yeah. I had that card. That Batman Forever card. Metal Batman Forever card, you know. I remember seeing the movie, and I actually had the at first I didn't like the Batmobile, but it kind of grew on me, you know, because everybody thought about what came before, so it was hard to do that, but it definitely grew on me. Absolutely. And now we're getting into like the pricing and everything. Comics. Price Guide. Comic Watch. Dan Jurgens, Superman vs. Aliens, 1 of 3. Sandman. Ultra Force. Yeah. Evolve or Die. Yeah. This is a good issue. A good issue. I'm trying to keep it on in front of the camera. Look at this. Wizard Online. The good old days, right? She number 1. I got it. I have She number 1. I think I have Gen 13 issue number 2. I remember seeing this. Yep. X-Files number 1. I think I have issue number 1 of X-Files. I have, oh, and I do have this. I have issue 47 of Wizard magazine. We'll do that one in a future episode of Wizard Wayback. Let's see. Wizard's top 10 hottest artists. Number 1, Todd MacFarlane. Number 2, Frank Miller. Number 3, Buzz. Number 4, Greg Capullo. Number 5, Joe Quesada. Look at Joe Quesada. Number 6, Jim Lee. Number 7, J. Scott Campbell. Number 8, Adam Kubert. Number 9, Andy Kubert. Oh, you can't see this. I'm rattling these off. You can't see them. And number 10, Bart Sears. Hottest writers: Neil Gaiman, Frank Miller, Peter David, John Byrne, Jeff Smith, John Ostrander, Dan Jurgens. Alan Moore is number 10. Yeah, never miss an issue. Sign me up for 12 awesome issues of Wizard for only $24.95. Man, I wish I would have done that. I didn't. I always got them in the grocery store. We speak the language. More of the Price Guide. Wizard magazine. Keep going. Batgirl. Some Cable action here. That's Rob Liefeld drawing Cable. 93. Wait a minute. What's this? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs? You see that? Look up here. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in the corner there. Free Mobius dinosaur poster. What? Did Mobius draw Cadillacs and Dinosaurs? No. Roy Thomas, Dick Giordano, Steve Stiles. Okay. All right, got it. Yep. Prowl the Night, the Dark Knights, Rogues Gallery, if you dare. That's cool. That's a cool image there. Well, it just keeps going and going and going. Yep, you can see what the prices were back then. Medal of Honor. And I think they made the game off the comic. I'm not sure. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Yep. A lot of stuff in the back. Price Guide. Different shows and conventions. Everyone's got opinions. This is Todd MacFarlane. I'll read it. As a creative producer of comic books, hold on. What do you want from me? As a creative producer of comic books, one of the things you must sit down and look at daily is how to keep your audience entertained and to keep them buying your books on a regular basis. With the comic book market being in a sort of lull at this point, I'm somewhat confused as to what you, the readers, want out of your comics. From what I've seen, the major crossovers seem to be a big thing with the readers. A good example of this is the recent Age of Apocalypse crossover from Marvel's X-Men titles, which is very popular with the fans, albeit at a higher price, no less. Also big is when a major character either dies or gets maimed or goes insane, and then a new character takes over his or her identity, a la recent stories involving DC's Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern characters. Readers also seem to buy up variant covers which have the potential to rise in value. Readers seem to respond well to all these types of examples, quite simply because you want them. Or do you? When you buy comics, do you sometimes feel like you've been tricked by publishers into buying them? In my opinion, a lot of these popular types of storylines are just a way of tricking you into A, buying a product, and B, in the case of the Age of Apocalypse, raising the price of the book. The price of the X books increased when Marvel stopped printing in less expensive regular editions of these comics. And when I was a young fan, I knew that when the price of comics increased, I either had to cut a book or 3 or else mow another lawn for more cash. I can't believe how much the price of comics has gone up over the past couple of years. They're averaging at $2 a piece now. Well, as of today, I would say they're averaging at $5.99 a piece. And depending on if you get something with a foil cover or something else, it's going to be even more than that. And if you're crowdfunding, you're going to pay, your minimum you're going to pay as a backing price is going to be $25 a comic. But that's in crowdfunding. That's not in the mainstream or in a comic shop. With that said, readers' budgets can't allow them to buy everything they want. There must be some sort of selection process as to what you want to buy. So are you guys clinging to 3 or 4 different titles and their spinoffs? Are you somehow expanding your budget? Or are you simply buying the books because you got the last 100 issues and don't want to stop the collection? And hey, I know what that's like because I've been there. What I'm looking at in any case, in the case of Spawn, is whether I should do any of these things. Would you like me to kill him off and bring him back? Would you like to see him cross over with every other character in the Image universe? Would you like to see him maimed and replaced by some wacko only to have the original come back and trash the new guy? I just want to know if there's some resistance to these situations or if you think that's cool. If it is cool, then I'll have to start thinking about possibly putting out a second monthly Spawn companion book or more miniseries throughout the year. I'm trying to stick to a certain way of business, but if the fans dictate otherwise, I'll have to change my ways. If anybody is willing to give me insight, I'll hear you out. And there's even a bribe in this. Hey, you don't get nothing for nothing, as the saying goes. I want to know what keeps you buying on a regular basis. In return, the best responses will get you a couple of free signed comics. Write me in care of the address in the letters page of Spawn. Oh, and by the way, about Marvel Comics announcing that it's distributing exclusively through Heroes World. I told you so. Interesting stuff from Todd MacFarlane. Only sissies change their costume in a phone booth. Spawn number 32, the new costume. All right. Well, that's it. That is Wizard issue 46. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you right here next time at Acadian Comics. Bye for now.